Greetings, I'm here in Taunton at a Catholic church called St George's, and I'm going to introduce a woman who's never looked around a church before. In fact, I think that's her right now. Yeah. Spiffing to meet you. Yeah, this is it. Should we go and have a look?
Wow, yeah, I'd love to.
Brilliant, yeah, follow me. Okay, Joe, I'm going to stop you there. First things first, when you enter a Catholic church, you need to go and receive the holy water. This has been blessed by the priest and is used in baptism. And what you'll do is you'll make the sign of the cross with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, remembering the Trinity. Would you like to engage? And everyone who enters the church will do this.
Son, left, Holy Spirit.
Brilliant, fantastic. Let's move to another part of the building. Joe, another key thing you need to learn about this church is when a Catholic will enter the room, they want to enter it acknowledging God's presence. And they'll do that in a very particular way called a genuflection. Yeah? Genuflection, that's right. What they'll do is, if you follow me, they'll walk towards the middle of the aisle and they'll place their right knee down like this, and they'll look to the altar and they'll just be accepting and believing that the presence of God is in the place. And this is just a way of doing that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Groovy. Any questions at this point, Joe?
Well, yeah, I have to say, I'm quite struck by that window over there.
Yes.
What is it?
I knew you'd be impressed with that, to be honest. That, my friend, is called a stained glass window, right? And what happens is, in a lot of churches, particularly Catholic churches, they'll have pictures of special people in the Christian faith. In the Catholic church, they'll have a picture of Jesus, Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Joseph. And they, along with a number of other special people to the church, might be in certain places on the windows. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. What are these wooden things on the wall?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's go and have a closer look. So these sculptures were done by a local artist, and what they're doing, there's 14 of them, right? And they're telling the story of Jesus. Do you remember when Jesus died, that story?
Yeah.
They're telling 14 different stages of what happened on that journey in very, very excellent art.
I find them quite scary. I mean, they're very sad, what's on them.
Yeah, they're not meant to be scary pictures, but they are meant to be sad because of what happened was sad. And as you can see, it was a really horrible way to die. But as we know, it ends well.
It does? How can something like this end well?
We shall see. You asked how it ends, and it ends well. Well, this sculpture demonstrates that Jesus rose again, and we believe that he died and was brought back to life by God. So,
back to life?
Good news indeed, is it not?
So, what are these candles for? I like candles, but I never thought I'd see them in a church.
Yeah, I thought you'd like these. What happens is anyone who wants to can come in, light a candle and say a prayer. The candle acts as a symbol of the prayer, but actually you can come and say a few words, get something off your mind, and the candle will stay here whilst you go, kind of as your prayer keeps going on. The candle itself isn't a prayer, but it's a symbol of prayer.
Interested. What's this box for?
Yeah, well, that's a good question actually. This is called the confessional. This is a place where people in the church will come and talk to the priest about things that are on their mind. Now, a lot of people won't use the box, but some do, and it's a very good place to talk. Here is a very, very, very special part of the Catholic Church. This area is called the sanctuary area, which means a place where God lives and loves. This is called the sanctuary light. When that lamp is lit, it means there is some consecrated bread. Consecrated means the priest has blessed it to God. He's given it the thumbs up. It means that in that little red tent at the top, you see that? Yeah. There is bread that has been blessed to God. Does any of that make sense?
Yeah. What's the little red tent called? Has it got a special name?
That would be called a tabernacle.
This is a pretty fancy table here. What's that? Got any significance?
Well, yes, it does actually, Joe. What that would be representing would be the Last Supper, which was a time when Jesus had a meal with his friends before he died, and that is representing that. You're a lover of candles, aren't you? So you'll obviously be thinking, what is this? It's called a Paschal candle, and it'll be lit during Easter, which we've just had, during services, and then again at Pentecost.
What's this brown box behind here?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Glad you asked. Now, have you heard of baptism?
Yes.
Now, that is a time where people are welcomed into the church family. Infants, children, babies, adults will all be baptised, and that's called a font.
And what's this stand here?
Well, it's actually called a lectern. And what happens is the priest, the man who will be looking after the church, will speak about the Bible and teach the rest of the people what to do about that in their lives. And I've heard in the Catholic Church, sermons are pretty short, so worth checking out.
Well, I have to say, Joey, there are a lot of statues in this place, and I was just wondering what they're all for.
It's a really good question. Lots of statues represent lots of different things, but let me draw your attention to one of my favourite, and a statue that you'll see in every Catholic church. This is the statue of the Sacred Heart. I know you're thinking, who is it? Oh, it's Jesus. And what happens is, his heart is on the outside of his cloaks, showing that his love is for everyone.